different format for me as well, but we'll see what happens. I think you folks can type something in the chat. I'm just going to say hello and see if that comes up. And I think I'll be able to see the chat. If you folks want to say hello, where you're from, I love to see where people are from if you're chiming in. I'll introduce Peter in a second. Just want to make sure that I think we're good in line. For those of you who I think you know me, Kathy Homeyer. I own the Lake Clear Lodge and Retreat. Peter actually visited, Peter, a couple of years ago now. Yeah. So I have the sunsets and our property and everything, and we have some fun. And there's an echo. I'll put my headphones in here. I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. I'll leave it off for the time being. So yeah, I own with my family the Lake Clear Lodge and Retreat. Of course, with everything going on, we are revamping only slightly because we're a wellness resort and do lots of good things at our resort anyway. We have private cabins, we have our private beachfront, we have private trails. And yeah, I don't want to get too much with what's going on because we just want to know about well-being. Oh, hello from the UK. Well, hello there. How are you? We just want to get well, and that's on everybody's mind right now. So that's kind of just the premise that I'm keeping with. Peter does some really cool things with water. He has water software, and he'll tell you all about it. He has water software. He has created my favorite, which is the Terra Resonator. And below on these clips, I'll put the link to a testimonial that I did for the Terra Resonator a bit ago. But I have a program called Nutritional Energetics. So I started off very interested in nutrition years ago, ended up being an occupational therapist, which is really cool, but ended up owning my own resort with my family, which has a long, actually, history to it. My great aunt and uncle actually built it, big, long history. But I'm here. My husband's here. He gave up his. Hey, Christy's here. Gave that up, and now I've created my own program called Nutritional Energetics. So since I come in on the kind of food nutrition end, but once you kind of keep going down the rabbit hole, everything is energy and everything is frequency. And that's what I love playing with in my kitchen primarily. I do other processes as well, but I love playing in my kitchen. I'll put my food on the Terra Resonator to up the vibe of that, to increase its, and I'll say right now, nutrition value. But what I love playing with is Aqua Air as well, and that's what Peter created years ago. I think that was maybe one of Peter's first creations. He can introduce himself and tell you about that. So Peter is called the Modern Day Mystic. His website is moderndayMystic.com. He has some very unique products as well as processes that he does. So hi, Peter. Nice to see you again.
Hello, Kathy. How are you? Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm kind of at a loss for words because we have so much going on right now. I don't even kind of know where to begin. Yeah, you mentioned in the pre-show there's a lot.
Let's start on how people energize their water. That's the way I started, kind of understanding how water works partly from you, and how water works. And I went, okay, Navitus. Let's just simplify Navitus and then go from there. Does that sound like a plan?
Sure. So to kind of understand where we are, you need to understand where we came from. So I'll go back to the beginning. Once upon a time, a couple decades ago, I had a wake-up experience. It allowed me to view reality radically different than where I had come from. Prior to that wake-up moment, I was an empty shell of a human. After that wake-up moment, I was filled with magic. Basically, my understanding of how things were, are, and will be completely changed on every level. I was gifted with an amazing toolbox to bring, creations to the world that no one has ever seen before. And very quickly, I learned that, following other people's dynamics and their teachings, it went against every fiber of my being. And my path was to carve a path through solid rock and venture to areas where no one has ever done before, bringing ancient knowledge into the present, to create amazing products with state-of-the-art fabrication processes, metallurgy, state-of-the-art technology in wrapped in a futuristic design. So everything I've created really represents past, present, and future in a creation now, right? So that path early on began with water. And I was watching videos of Dr. Emoto doing mind-bending things with water, basically proving beyond the shadow of a doubt that water has consciousness and can be changed as you send different amplitudes of frequency through it. And at the time, I was working for one of the largest investment banks in the world in technology, and that path it is what it was. My whole background schooling has been in engineering, so I understand very complicated things and how to put them together and make them very easy for people to understand. So, you know, back then we started writing software. The first commercial product was available on July 4th, 2007, which was Aqua Air. And Aqua Air at the time had 180 selectable intents. And the idea behind it was where you set your intention, the intention will follow. And the software basically allows you to impress the light frequencies of an intention into water. It can be, a glass of water next to your computer. It can be a body of water on the other side of the planet, or a cup of coffee on Mars. Because what we had broken through at that time was using quantum principles. And these are very easy to understand. Forget all the scientific formulas behind string theory, quantum. If you are intuitive, you would understand that everything is energy, and that energy is all interconnected. And that interconnectedness is what science coins the quantum realm. But if you are intuitive, you know that inside that interconnectivity is pure consciousness, your consciousness. And there is no past, there is no future. There's only now, the present moment. And you can exist simultaneously everywhere at once or nowhere. So using that for the groundwork for the software, we figured out in short order how to allow a user to put their attention on a target somewhere, run the software, and allow the imprint or the frequency of the desired intention to be transferred into the water. And, part of this tool chest has allowed me to see the frequencies in anything I want and know how to translate that. So people would come to me over the years and say, "Hey, Peter, why can't I just program intention into a glass of water myself?" I said, "You absolutely can." And then the next question is, how long can you hold your attention? 30 seconds. Okay, give it a go. Programming water is not something new. People have been doing it since time immemorial. Monks used to hold hands around a large body of water. They would chant for hours, for days, right? And they would raise the vibration of the water. People do it all kinds of different ways. I, being born of modern technology, had an idea to use the power of the microprocessor, which can do something 1,000,000 times a second that the mind can't even dream of doing. And it does it one time 1,000,000 times over a second. Taking the power of programming water anywhere, anytime to a level unseen, unfathomed, unimaginable. And so after Aqua Air came out, it was very successful. And from that point, other programs were born of the Aqua Air engine. So now we kind of fast forward into 2020, and the current available suite of software is all in its 5th generation. Okay. That 5th generation now is emerging on 4 years. So I had to make a choice early last year to continue another revolution of the technology, or radically change it from the ground up in something. So for years, Mac users, iPhone users, Android users have always been like, "Hey, I can't run this on my phone." I'm like, yeah, there's a little problem. It's only for a Windows PC. So Mac users would buy boot camp. They go out and buy PCs just to run the software. So I decided to do not only the largest investment I have ever done of time, money, and technology into this, but I have decided that if we're going to do a 6th generation, it's going to be called the Aqua Sync suite of software. It's going to allow people to run this software on absolutely any device with a internet browser and an internet connection. Okay, it's called a SaaS model, software as a service. So in April, it's been about a year now. We started this endeavor, and we have released betas of Aqua Air, the 12th project, and Navitas. And what's coming is the source, light body, and smoke arrays. So the whole suite called Aqua Sync now will embody 6 programs, all in their 6th generation, with all cutting edge technology and more importantly, in a subscription model. Okay. It's going to allow you for a very low monthly cost, have access to absolutely all of your favorites. And the reason we're moving to this model is not only to lower the cost, but to introduce the technology across multi-platforms. Okay. It is platform independent now. If you have a web browser and an internet connection, you'll be able to run the software. And as I evolve, as I grow and expand and have better understandings of how things work, my understanding 20 years ago is completely different than it is today, even a year ago, because I'm constantly pushing the envelope. Now that is in one pillar of what we do. We also do sessions, right? We have, I don't know, half a dozen different types of sessions. As I have evolved, so the sessions, workshops, of which we're in the 3rd on the manifestation, which will be the most powerful. They're donation-based workshops. There's a small donation or a large donation, whatever you want. And again, it's a whole new way of thinking. It's a whole new way of being. And then, of course, another part of the business is physical creations. Okay. And, the physical creations have been nothing short of breathtaking. I've done 80 product launches in the last 5 years, and there is no end in sight. It just keeps moving forward. So that's just kind of, where we are. And of course, inside each one of those pillars, there's a lot of information. And then, I have over 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel where I just give information freely away. In the MDM Minutes, we had a show for 2 or 3 years. We interviewed 100 amazing people. Those shows are all free, and there's great nuggets of information in there. So before we go any further, before I got off on a tear, I always like to do a water blessing with people to kind of show them, the power of water. So all you need is a glass of water. It could be in a bottle, it can be whatever you want. I'd like you to raise your left hand over at 3 inches. In a second, you'll start to feel the energy run down through your hand into the water. Now, water, like anything in physical form or non-physical form, any type of energy will do absolutely anything for you as long as you acknowledge its existence. And the simplest way to do that, once you start to feel the energy running down, is just put your attention on the water and repeat these 8 magical words. I honor the space in which you exist. Then you'll feel the energy increase. After about 10 seconds, go ahead and drink as much as you want. And notice the taste, the texture, and where it's moving in your body energetically.
I use that phrase a lot, Peter, of course, from you. And I use that on the Terra Resonator, in my kitchen, in my home. It's everywhere. It really is magic. And it's like, yeah, I've got my car, anything. So,
it's the simplest form to just acknowledge the existence of something. As humans, we create our reality. Today in the world, there is fear spreading on a level unprecedented to anything in our lifetimes. And it is moving quickly. Okay. And of course, that's because of the coronavirus, which is very, very real. But, being stuck in your home is bad enough, but being glued to the TV to watch numbers that don't mean anything and allow those frequencies into your reality, you are destroying your freedom of mind. Okay. Have you ever noticed, Kathy, when you go to bed with a positive dream, a positive thought, your dreams reflect that reality? Or if you go to bed with negative thoughts, your dreams reflect the negative. Well, the conscious mind is no different. When you get up in the morning, if you have positive thoughts about your day is going to be positive. If you have negative thoughts, you're going to attract that. The energy that you put out is mimicked back to you. If you get up and say, I am going to kick ass today, you will, undoubtedly. So as you create that reality, the worst thing you can be is stuck in fear. If you're stuck in fear, believe me, you're going to feel it. But to tell yourself that, you're not stuck in fear, you are in control of your reality, and watch how things start to change. And I did a quantum code for viruses workshop last week. And it's completely free. If you want to make a donation, it's fine. It's on the website under workshops. And in that workshop, we taught people how to turn the tide of fear, how to start pushing back, taking control of your fucking reality and not letting it go to the frequencies that would keep you contained. And the more people that push back against the fear, the more it's going to, spread and eventually turn the tides of all the nastiness that's happening around the planet now.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I first I saw you on the MDM Minute years ago when you had your YouTube channel. We'll put that up in the comments and things later on if I don't in the meantime. And I used to watch your shows and all these crazy people who did all these crazy things. And I thought, well, I'm just going to call Peter and do a session. I have no clue what he does, but I'm going to call him up. And you were like, yeah, what is it? And I'm like, well, I don't know. And he goes, well, you're just testing me. Who are you? And I'm like, nope, I'm just going, hello. And I said, I need to, I think I was calling about someone else. And I said, I need to help them. And you took a look at me and you went, no, you got to help yourself first. That's what you have to do first to help anybody. And I think it was after that first session. I don't remember even what we talked about, but I just remember speaking of, dreams. I think dreaming that night and just seeing these white boxes with white ribbons, just an unlimited number, like unlimited presence, just across this vast expanse. And I'll never forget that because I visualize a lot. I mean, I do visualize, but not a lot unless it's significant. And that was amazing. So that was like presence everywhere. And
but that is ground zero for people that are so stuck in fear and where they are in the day, unable to move forward in the future because they think something in the past is keeping them stuck. And there's what's that old cliche? A healthy mother can take care of 4 sick kids, but 4 healthy kids can't take care of a sick mother. And if you think about that, you have to take care of yourself first and foremost. The COVID-19 is not a joke. It will kill you. It has the potential to kill you. But, there's a lot of great people out there with great ideas. And what you're noticing, even on the Walking Dead level, which is the majority, they're getting very creative also in how they're addressing the fear. And it's all good, man. It's going to go. We all know that. But you have to stay healthy. You have to stay out of fear as much as you can in order to truly help other people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Jen's here saying hello as well. I put up some of her comments. And the thing that I love about your products, Peter, is it's even though everything is kind of within you anyway, it structures the format. I think I've learned the format through some of your products to go, oh, I can do that. And it's given me a level of intention to put my intention on and then learn from there. So
I have spent years, getting download dumps for products that, your just imagination can't even dream up. 95% of those products will never see the light of day because it has to go through Peter Schenk. It has to go through a filter in my mind. And then, I have to take these large data dumps and put them into a product, A, that's going to work, B, is going to be incredibly strong, but yet C, everything I create is very, very, very simple to use if you follow it. And you know, everything I create is a toolbox, right? Because I've always tried to teach people that if you have the ability to unlimit your thinking, you can unlimit your potential. And when you receive a toolbox, and it's any one of, you know, 150 whatever products that we offer today, you know, that's where, you know, I give you a blank canvas. What you paint is up to you. Aqua Air is a great example of that. The Terra Resonator line, the HFA line, the IAM line, you know, the workshops, even in the sessions, sometimes, you know, there's no physical energy work that is actually happening. It's a simple, you know, human to human talk about how to unlock that great potential within a person. And when it formulates, it germinates, you know, it's like, you know, it's like a garden, you know, you plant it, you give it love, you give it water, sunshine, oxygen, all that. And it just blooms into this amazing, amazing individual.
Mm-hmm. So right now, Peter, to empower people who are listening, in terms of maybe your products or whatever, any gazillion recommendations, but any one you can think of in particular that even newbies can take and kind of go with?
Well, you know, even before if you are considering purchasing a product, we offer a lot of free downloadable content on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot of workshops, 7-day trials to all the software, and just get in there and play. But more importantly than that, you know, I've spent years doing YouTube videos. You know, subscribe to the YouTube channel and just watch the videos. There is so much information in there to help you evolve as a human. And, you know, folks, I've been doing this a long time. Okay. And believe me, it's taken a personal toll on myself. There's been amazing advancements made, but personally it's taken a toll. And this is a path. Okay. This was a choice that I made to blaze through solid rock, to bring you, you know, the stuff that science fiction books are written about. And, you know, you don't have to take my word for it. You know, talk to customers like Kathy Holmeyer or read the 1,000+, you know, testimonials and video testimonials on the website. The products work, but you have to heed that calling to you. And, you know, you know, I know, you know, the economy is where it is. So we offered the largest unprecedented discount in the history I've been doing this. It's 33% off absolutely everything available in the website. 33%. That's a pretty big chunk to help people. You know, it's not about the money, folks. It's about helping you arise above the reality that is being fed to you through the TVs, through the social media, through every outlet you can imagine. Once you have the ability to rise above it, you can see with clarity, and that's all I care about. And when you see with clarity, you'll be able to turn the tide, start pushing back on the fear, and that's where this thing is going to turn around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love water. Like I said, Aqua Air, I love that anyway, because water's all around us. People drink water. They know how important water is. They can kind of relate to water instead of maybe just energy work. They can relate to water, and oh yeah, water holds memory. So I find it a really good starting place for anybody looking for something to empower them that maybe haven't heard before. Is, you know, bam. And folks in my programs, I make them programs with Aqua Air, and we share those every once in a while. And if anybody has any questions and wants to ask me about that, I'd be happy to help too. If you're happy to play around with Aqua Air or any of those, I have a few of your products.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're super excited to get the Aqua Sync done. You know, it'll be released in the June timeframe. Pricing has not been announced yet, but it's not going to be, you know, a several $100 investment anymore. It's going to be extremely cheap, and it's going to be, it's a service. You actually don't own anything. You're renting the software, and you can choose to do it for a month. You'll be able to do it for a year or a lifetime subscription, whatever, is your endeavor. It's going to happen. And, it utilizes Catalyst as the water. So in Aqua Air 5, we released the force field intense, and these are crazy. And
I use those.
and the force field intense have the ability to program a humidity bubble around the body. Okay, and I ain't gonna say anything else about it. Just go read about it. There's hundreds of written testimonials, and in there, people describe how these force fields work. And just unlimit your thinking, unlimit your potential, and dig through, almost 2 decades of information that I have on the website, in social media, the effects of what this team has brought to the world.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't know when you started your YouTube channel, but I think I started that long ago. What was I going to say? I'm excited about Aqua Sync because usually I have to go over to my computer, create all the programs, and then either use it from there or whatever. So this is really exciting because I can use it from anywhere.
Well, Kathy, talk about some of your experiences just with the first generation of Terra Resonator. I think you have the midline, right? I mean,
yeah, I think I have one of the first ones.
Yeah, that's the midline
for you, and I still love it. I told Peter I want one all across my cooking station where I cook. That's going to happen sooner or later. But yeah, I put plants on it. There was a plant that just wouldn't grow. I had it like for a whole season outside. I think this is in the testimonial. I had it for a whole season outside, and it just wouldn't move. It didn't die, but it just wouldn't move. And I put it on the Terra Resonator for a while, and it started to bloom and grow. I do muscle testing, so I've taken food and muscle tested the light score of the food. I think there's actually testimony about that too. I've tested the light score of food, and then I put, say, even a glass of water. I can light score the water, put it on the Terra Resonator, and then score it again, and they were always high. I had so much fun playing with food and even my probiotics. I remember one time, Peter, I have actually a sourdough challenge going at this point again, because people are home baking. So I'm like, okay, guys, get your sourdough out. I put it on the Terra Resonator, and it bubbles up. It just activates those little probiotics and even helps them. So I play with it mostly in the kitchen, but a lot with water, a lot with food and other different things too. So I've done a lot of different things with the Terra Resonator.
So, Kathy's been playing with the first generation of the Terra Resonators. We've already developed a line that is significantly more powerful and half the price on all fronts. So the Tornado to the Typhoon to the Black. And on top of that, there's now 33% off, and we do have a nice supply in stock. As I get information, I update the product lines. Sometimes we discontinue some stuff, or we just continue to push, that envelope. 2020 has been no different. I mean, this year we've already released the HFA Sirius. We've are about to finish a trio of manifestation workshops. There's a HFA Mini version 2 on the way, which is 33% smaller, has more silver, creates a bigger field. We have a pair of rods coming. One will be tachyon, one will be scalar. That's all I'm going to say about that. But that's, third, fourth quarter this year. We have a wishing sphere coming. A beautiful quartz crystal with the flower of life, 3D printed in there, 3D laser scanned. It's also going to be sitting on just a beautiful pedestal with some probably moldavite and some gemstones. So, we're constantly pushing just in all fronts, in all directions. to bring, to bear through water, through sacred geometry, through energetic teachings, to bring products and services to the world that will completely blow your mind and change your life.
Yeah, and self-empower people, especially right now when you're sitting home wondering what what do I do about this now. Like you said, turn the television off and start empowering yourself with energetics, or anything simple that you're finding is helping you and your family. That's what I'm doing. We still have snowbanks, but the good news for me is we still have our humidifiers on in our place that we live. So I aquaware the humidifiers. I'll make different programs and aquaware the humidifiers. I have two kids home from college trying to figure that out and not very happy about it. And so I do either calming in there or there's I was shampooing the rugs earlier. So there's even cleaning. There was a cleaning program in Aquaware, so I even do that in my rug shampooer. So I get really creative and just start playing and having fun, and it just enlivens my life in a lot of different ways. So I love playing in my house.
The new version of Aquaware 6 and the AquaSync suite of software is, it is a complete rewrite from the ground up in a whole new technology set. Just imagine you can have it on your cell phone, any cell phone, wherever you are, simply by logging in and running it in the interface. It is so simple to use now. It is so beautiful. It's just amazingly powerful. There's more intentions in there. And the best part about this is you don't have to download it anymore. There's no more, oh, it doesn't work. Call Pete. Yay. There's no more any of that. And um, on the fly, updates will be done in real time, seamless to the user on our backend servers. You'll never see any of it. We're going to create a very large community in there. It'll be very simple to use. So there's a lot of stuff coming, and it's been a very, very, very busy year for us so far.
And Peter, what we haven't mentioned, which I think is very unique to your products, and going back to Aquaware again, is the 3 stages that it goes through. It blank slates, prepares the body, right, and then does the frequencies and intent. That's totally unique.
So what we learned early on with the release of Aquaware 1, water preparation and user preparation didn't exist then. They didn't come into play, I think, until version 2. And what we learned was that in order to successfully land an intention into water with maximum impact that you can use internally in the environment or on your skin, the water had to be blank slated, meaning all the memories and energy of everywhere it's ever been had to be removed in a very short order of time to allow the frequency to come in. Then we learned that the subconscious mind played a role in blocking part of how that was working. So that's when user preparation came into play. That would create a very thin veil within the water, and as soon as you drank it, it would go instantly to the subconscious mind, opening it up for acceptance of the intention to follow, whether it was internally being used in the environment or again on your skin.
Yeah, that's totally unique. And I not only do the water that I drink and, like I said, in my house, but we have a lake outside. So every once in a while, I'll make a program for the lake, river. So you can affect different bodies of water as well, right?
The volume of water is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. We've had customers that have, when as the software is evolving over the 15-year period, I would do shows, and people using the product would call into these shows and tell us these absolutely amazing things that they had accomplished with the software. And I remember there was one woman in particular that lived in Brazil. And I believe the way the story went, so she had a pond behind her complex that was polluted and scummy, and she used one of the Aquaware intentions, which was under general, or it was under cleanse and rejuvenate general to, move more oxygen apparently into the water. And in the case of a week, the pond cleaned up. In the Walking Dead's mind, that's impossible. But again, in people that are waking up, have woken up, and will be woken up, the concept is not that far, because you unlimit your thinking thereby unlimiting your potential. And that is one of the very first things I was ever taught. I worked with Saint Germain early on, and he sat me down and said, you have to be able to see the invisible and do the impossible if you're going to succeed on your path. And then I was given a rock wall, and he's like, through it you go, blaze your path. And it's been nonstop.
Mm-hmm. Yep, amazing. So yeah, I think message for any of us here is to look beyond what you're seeing at the moment and just see your potential and get through all this the fear that's being spread around.
Look, here's the bottom line. If you want to offer lip service to the world, that's all you'll ever do. Okay. If you want to put action behind your lip service, you're going to get a reaction back from the universe. And that reaction that you get back is going to push you, okay, beyond your limitations of your thinking, beyond your physical capacity to ultimately spread more love and light in the world by any and all means possible. I have read the ancient scriptures. I have watched for years as people take those teachings and rewrap them in a CD or a speech or whatever. It's lip service. It does nothing. They're good people, but they're not creating action. Okay. Mm-hmm. You want to exist in the higher octaves? It takes work. Here's the key. The work is fun. Mm-hmm. I love what I do, and I'll never stop. As long as I draw breath, I will continue to push the envelope of creation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know if there's any questions out there. We'll certainly take them. But otherwise, I posted up Peter's website. Why don't you tell your contact information, Peter, verbally?
So the best way to get a hold of me directly to me is call the number on the website or send me an email via moderndaymystic.com. There's a contact down at the bottom, and you can send me an email, and I'm known to be very, very quick to get back to people.
Mm-hmm. Not too wordy though.
I do take breaks. I don't sleep anymore, but I do take breaks.
I'm not too worried. Okay, yeah, thanks, Peter. It's always nice to touch base with you. I don't know if you have any last minute stuff you want to say, or
again, if you want to take advantage of all the free material we offer, please do. For the next 6 days, we will be offering 33% off everything. And if you feel you heed that clarion call to a product that you're being attracted to, that product is actually picking you. And get them while you can, folks, because once they're gone, they're going to be gone for a bit.
I'm just putting up your website here again, and I'm also offering. I was going to do a retreat May 1st, but that's going to be online now. So I'll be upping my nutritional energetics program, where I work with numbers, and I work with water, and I work with not just food. Part of my program called Culinary Naturopathy works with food and reminding ourselves the traditional food preparations that really kept our ancestors healthy. So really, that's kind of for our 3D body. And then I go beyond and work with things like feeder schools and others into a lot of cool stuff. And I have a lot of fun with what I do. So that's something that's going to be, I'll be sharing soon. I'll probably do it at the end of April instead of beginning of May, because it's all going to be online now. And anyone interested in coming to kind of what we call the healing woods here in the Adirondacks, it's a great place to come. It was actually created, on the one hand, from philosophers and people like Einstein, who literally was on our beach because it was kind of a unique place, and we still call it the Healing Woods. And now more than ever, I think the Adirondacks and places like ours that are a little out of the way may be a little appealing.
I will say that Kathy and Ernie have created an amazing sanctuary, and I have witnessed one of the top 3 sunsets I have ever seen in my life, and I've traveled extensively to different parts of the planet, and it's just amazing. So if you get a chance, check them out.
Yeah, we actually have a live webcam, so I'm going to put that up on the screen as well. It's lakeclearlodge.com/webcam. I think that'll go up in one word. It's kind of splitting itself. But we actually have a live webcam down there overlooking the beach and the sunset over St. Regis Mountain. And they really are amazing. They really, really are. So check it out if you want to see a sunset from home on a mountain lake. I'm usually down there around sunset, waving to the camera and saying hello, sometimes doing qigong down there. So join us on our webcam at any time. You never know what you're going to see down there. But the sunsets are amazing. So yeah, thanks, Peter. Yeah.
Thanks, Kathy.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining in live and on the replay. Questions, you can either email myself or Peter, and we'll be happy to answer. And yeah, keep empowering yourselves as well through all this and beyond. So thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. Okay.